Hello, this is Lord Lobo, and I'm going to be going through some basic tutorials on building the models for the Robotech RPG Tactics models, and I'm going to focus on the Battloid here for the most part, because that's probably the most difficult model of the whole set to build. A few notes I wanted to start off with. So this is all aimed at a beginner modeler. So first I'm going to talk about safety. These tools are pretty sharp and dangerous, especially the X-Acto knife and the clippers. So if you have young children trying to build these models, please supervise them. Cuts can happen, and it can be a little dangerous. So please watch out. Also, when you're using super glue, this glue does a great job of bonding plastic models together. However, it also does an incredible job of bonding fingers together. And with the parts being so small, it's pretty easy to glue yourself or glue a piece to yourself, and they will come off, and the glue will eventually come off. You'll get kind of a crusty film on your fingers for a while, but it can be uncomfortable or even painful to remove the glue from your fingers. So be very careful with that, especially with young children. And of course, keep the glue out of your eyes, your mouth, etc. It is poison. Anyway, I'm going to talk quick about the tools. I personally bought the Citadel big roll-up toolkit, and it's pretty nice. However, some pieces I don't really like the knife that comes with it. However, I do really like the seam scraper, but unfortunately with the Robotech models, their parts are so tiny, it's hard to find places to actually scrape. So this doesn't get a lot of use, but it is a very nice tool. The clippers, however, are really great. They have a really nice fine tip on them, and it's really easy. They're very easy to control and a great response. So I absolutely love these clippers. This is just a standard X-Acto knife. You'll use it from time to time. Tweezers, I really recommend having a set of tweezers handy, dedicated for modeling, because of tiny little pieces, especially like these guns on the battle pods. It's really hard to hold them and maneuver them and glue them without sticking your fingers. Finally, I have a few metal sanders. This one's pretty beat up, but it does a good job. This is coarse. I have a couple of different flavors. This one's a little finer, and then this is a really fine one that came with the Citadel kit. So it's really nice. So I want to talk a little bit about the strategy of building these models. First of all, when you have all these sprues with any new modeling, typically these sprues come right out of the machine and have some machining grease on them that they use to pop the sprues out of the machines. So before you want to wash them in a mild dish soap and let them completely dry before you start doing anything. So I did that a while ago. I actually did it with the whole Battlecry kit. It was a lot of fun, but you really want to do that first. It also will help when you get to the painting stage to get the primer to stick on better. So the general strategy that I feel is going to be building the Battloids easiest is to start with building as many smaller components as possible, and then once I've built enough to build the Battloids, then to actually assemble them into the full Battloid. So what I've done here is I've built 4 bodies, and I'm going to finish out the rest of them later on, and 4 sets of legs and all the other pieces. I have a couple sets of arms here that I did in the arm research, but the reason you want to do this is because once the full part is assembled, first of all, it's going to be easier to grip onto the piece to trim it and finish it. So because you want to work out all of these kind of nubs and stuff that come off the sprue here, and you want it to flatten out, and that'll just make the paint job look a lot better. You don't have to go for perfect, and I'm not going for perfect on these models, but it does make a big difference, and especially these rough edges can just catch on brushes and do damage to them. But like here you can see the legs, they're just completely not done, but because they're assembled and larger, it's a lot easier for me to get my hand on it, get a good grip. Oops, I guess I'm not showing you that. There we go. Get a good grip and do a nice job of finishing off that rough spot there from where the sprue came from. So I won't go through and do all that. But anyway, it's a lot easier, especially when we get to the arms. So when we get to the arms, I'd also recommend taking a photocopy of it or print out like this and actually arranging pieces on it so you know which came from where. This way I can know like which the pairings are from my diagram, and also know that like set 2 and 4 they're one set of arms. They're not meant to be used mixed and match. However, sets 1 and 3 could be. But anyway, while I'm going to build the rest of the Battloids, I'll put out the arms. I'll assemble the 4 arms first, and then once the glue has dried, I'll finish them off. I'll sand off the pieces, and then go from there. So that's going to be real handy to keep that stuff organized and neat. So the general strategy for taking things off is, and I've already kind of started this one because I just started version 1 of this video before, is I'm going to build all the body pieces. So I'm going to take these 4 pieces off and the 2 little tiny pieces here, and then build those. Then I'm going to clip off all the legs and put those together. Once that's done, I'm going to break down this, or I'm going to clip off the stand too. Once that's all done, I'm going to break down the sprue a bit, because there's no reason to keep it in one giant piece, and especially you're not going to necessarily use all the pieces, since you have 2 extra set of arms and a bunch of extra heads. So I'll break down the sprue this way, so I can keep them aside or know where to find them. Or you might want to keep pieces around just for spare bits in the eventuality that maybe a model breaks or what have you. So here I've broken down the 2 halves of the arm sprues and then the head sprue, and then I'm just keeping those in a separate pile. So I'm going to do a little more work on getting these sub-assemblies done, and then we'll go and build a. Next video will be actually building fully building a Battloid from the sub-assemblies.